Rihan had made a deal, but the rules of the Tajers were clear. Deals were never reversed. Alia's voice thundered through the mansion, sending shivers down its grand doors. Aisha stood in its courtyard, trembling like a dry leaf. She, who a few weeks ago, Rihan had thought of as nothing more than a greedy, bought object. Yet today, she was under his protection, and he had become her shield. Rihan's eyes flickered with a mix of fear and unease. I may have sold things, but not my wife. The marriage contract is with me. By law and Sharia, this girl belongs to me, Alia declared, taking a step forward. Her eyes, instead of cold blindness, now blazed with the light of protection, capable of burning anything that dared oppose her. She firmly grasped Aisha's hand in front of everyone, her grip unshakable. Paper cannot create bonds. The moment Rihan threw her at my feet, he had lost his claim. Now, she was under my shelter. Anyone trying to snatch a prey from Sardar Alia often paid with their life. Rihan staggered backward. This wasn't just a threat, it was a declaration of war. A war born from hatred, misunderstandings, and possession, yet destined to bloom into a strange kind of love. Love does not always start with flowers and fragrances. Sometimes, it emerges from hatred, compulsion, and cruel deals. Thus began a journey where blind arrogance met ultimate helplessness. Weeks earlier, the Sardar of Shahpura had made a deal for an innocent life. The atmosphere in Shahpura carried either celebration or fear, because Alia was a man whose principles were carved in stone, and breaking a promise was unforgivable. Especially when matters of money and words were involved, chaos was inevitable. Rihan's life hung by a thread. The debt repayment deadline had passed, and his pockets were empty. Yet, the solution his father, Tausif, suggested was closer to death for any sensible man. For a weak-willed person like Rihan, surviving was his only priority. He stormed into the house, where Aisha was washing dishes in the kitchen, unaware that her fate had already been decided. Without ceremony, Rihan grabbed her arm and dragged her outside. Her screams were ignored, her pleas fell on deaf ears. She cried, reminded him of their bond, but Rihan was a puppet to the fear of Sardar Alia. He tossed Aisha into the backseat of his car like an object, driving her through desolate roads toward Shahpura. All the while, Aisha trembled, unable to understand where her husband was taking her, through lands with no sign of human life. Finally, the car reached a luxurious, formidable farmhouse guarded by muscular men. Rihan dragged her out and placed her before Sardar Alia, seated like a king, exuding a presence that could take anyone's breath away. Alia glanced at his watch and spoke in a sharp tone, "Time is up, Rihan. Pay the sum or face the consequences yourself." Rihan, trembling, stepped back, pushing Aisha forward as if she were nothing more than a sacrificial offering. Alia's piercing eyes fell on her, a frightened girl wrapped in a cloth from head to toe. "I don't have the money, but she is my wife. She is beautiful and can undo any harm caused to you. Forgive my debt in exchange," Rihan pleaded. Alia's face revealed hatred, not for the woman, but for the man who dared bargain with his wife's honor. Yet, a different game ran in Alia's mind. He wanted to know how far this girl could bend, assuming she was part of the scheme. Finally, with a teasing smile, he declared, "Fine. The deal is accepted, your debt is forgiven, but this girl will stay in my custody." Aisha felt as if molten lead had been poured into her ears. She turned to her husband, seeking rescue, but Rihan, happy for his life, avoided her gaze and prepared to leave. Alia approached slowly, "Hey. Predator close to its prey. Your husband sold your value, and I bought it. Your tears mean nothing to me. Objects have no dignity," he whispered. Aisha collapsed under the weight of his words. Guards dragged her to a cell. Tonight was to be her hell. Her protector had abandoned her, and her captor saw her as nothing but property. The next morning, Aisha woke in the farmhouse room, traumatized by memories of the previous night. She felt utterly helpless. The man she trusted had exchanged her for mere money. Alia entered, his presence commanding, and observed her silently. She was different from the helpless women he expected. Her sincerity and prayer shook his assumptions. "You can stop pretending," Alia said sharply. "I didn't buy your act. I bought your existence." Aisha lifted her gaze with courage. "Sardar Alia, my husband made the deal, not me. My body can be held, but my soul belongs only to God. And from him, I seek justice." Her words surprised Alia. Truth shone in her eyes, and for a moment, he felt shame for judging her. Yet, his pride forced him to maintain control. He called Rihan, delivering a warning. "She is now my property. Think twice before you interfere." You sold a woman for debt, and I can reveal everything. Your choice is simple: jail or return empty-handed. Rihan, realizing he couldn't retrieve Aisha easily, left defeated. Meanwhile, Alia pondered this strange attachment, sensing a mysterious pull toward her. Aisha remained in the Shahpura mansion, unsure of her place in this man's life: guest, prisoner, or something else. But one thing was clear: Alia's demeanor had shifted from cruel ownership to deep thought. Somewhere between hatred and obsession, a new bond was quietly forming. The grand doors of Shahpura opened as their car arrived. Every corner of the mansion reflected Alia's power and presence. Aisha followed cautiously, seeing the grandeur and strength in every wall, every door. Alia introduced her to the elder Begum, who observed her with a mix of kindness and curiosity. Aisha was a stranger, yet her innocent face seemed familiar, stirring an unspoken feeling within the Begum. Alia exhaled in relief, unsure of what he intended with Aisha but aware that Rihan's return had stirred chaos in the city. Legal threats and sudden reversals had shaken Rihan's world, proving that no one could manipulate Alia's rules. Aisha's journey in the mansion had only begun, a journey that would test her courage, challenge her soul, and perhaps, in time, awaken the first stirrings of love amid walls of hatred and misunderstanding.